But this is the BMW iX. You already know that, right? But this is not the iX40 that you have been seeing or reading about in the past. This is the more powerful iX50. It's got way more power than the iX40. It also has some cool new features. But how is it to drive? And at the end of the day, electric cars aren't really as fun as petrol cars. So the only thing they can do to become fun is add more power. This has that. But is it fun to drive? Let's find out. Now, in terms of design, the iX50 isn't very different from the 40. Well, it does have some minor changes, but in essence, it's still the same. So you still get this massive, bulky, muscular design up front with this grille that might or might not be up to everyone's taste. You've got sleek headlamps, but what you can be sure of is that when you look at it up front, it definitely comes across as a muscular and a dynamic vehicle. On the side, you've got these newly design alloy wheels. Now these alloy wheels are also very aerodynamic, so these help cut down the coefficient of drag, and as a result of that make the vehicle more aerodynamically efficient. But beyond that, it's just the new colors and a bit of minor changes, and the iX50 continues to look like a bad boy in a gentleman's club, which I think is a good thing. Now let's get inside the cabin of the iX50 and find out what's different. Well, there's not much, but before I go inside, let me show you what's special here. Well, if you look at the material here, well, this is not metal that you find in regular cars. What you get here is carbon fiber. So a lot of panels here, in fact, the tub and a lot of panels inside the body in this car are made out of carbon fiber, which a lot of you would know is a very light material, expensive as well. But because this is a big car, it has a massive battery, they needed to put in a lot of carbon fiber. And now let's check what's inside the cabin. And finally, the cabin. Well, the cabin, I must say, has the consistency of design just like the exterior. It looks radical just like the exterior. It's very different. It's unlike what you would find in any other luxury car or a luxury electric SUV. So yeah, I mean, it's a very different design. It looks the part though. So if you look at this dashboard, again, the dashboard design is very different. It's got these metallic panels here which look very expensive. You've got this massive curved screen which you've started seeing in new BMW models, and this looks phenomenally good. Especially the resolution and the background that they've given in this is just stupendously good. And it works like a charm. It also comes with a lot of features and a lot of tech, but at the end of the day, it's easy to use and it works brilliantly. Even the visibility is great. The materials that have been used in the entire car, if I look at the soft touch dashboard here, even the fabric, again, this is soft touch in the lower part, all of it feels very premium. The seats themselves are very good. Again, if you look at the console, it's got a very different design, and again, this allows for storage of more items. By the way, having no console panel in this space gives you the feeling of more space inside the cabin. Also, at times, if you are parking your car really tight to the wall, it's easier to get out from the other side. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the same cabin that you also get in the iX40. It's not radically different. In this, though, you get ventilated seats. And in terms of features, it's completely loaded. I mean, even if you look at this massive sunroof, it's an electrochromic sunroof, so at the press of a button, it goes from opaque to transparent, which is really nice. It looks well. Like I said, the space is great inside. Even the practical storage options are good. And if I talk about the rear seat, in terms of the rear seat comfort also, there is a lot of leg room. There is a good amount of headroom. The seat is placed a bit low. So as a result of that, the under-thigh support and long duration comfort can be a bit of a challenge, but maybe only for some, not for all. But otherwise, it's a great car to be in, feature loaded and looks futuristic. Alright, now on to the driving experience, the main reason why you would be buying the iX50. But before I go ahead and tell you that, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, press that little bell icon so that our future videos can reach to you, and like and share this video as well. Now moving on to the performance of the iX50, well, this has a massive battery and a more powerful motor when you compare it to the iX40. This one gets a 111.5 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery. To give you a perspective, if you look at an average mass market electric vehicle in India, this is equivalent to nearly 3 times the battery size. So this battery is equivalent to 3 mass market electric vehicles. That's how big this battery is. The motor is also more powerful than the iX40. So you get now 523 horsepower, 765 Newton meters of torque, all of it being electric. So you would expect this thing to fly off the line, and boy, it does. It's got all-wheel drive, and it's got a lot of smart electronic gadgetry to ensure that when you're shooting off the line, you're not going, hanging on for your life, going right or left, and going into the trees or into the sidewalk. It doesn't do that. The grip from the all-wheel drive system is very nice, and it comes coupled up to air suspension, which I think is great because the air suspension allows for a very comfortable ride quality when you want it to be nice, easy, smooth, but at the same time, when you want it to be fast, when you want to go around corners, you want to attack the horizon, well, again, it stiffens up, the dampening sharpens up, all of it comes alive, and as a result of that, you get an SUV which, despite being so massive in size and so heavy in weight, can turn in a manner that is hard to believe when you start pushing her in the initial few minutes. But then again, you get used to it and you start enjoying it, because it's electric. It doesn't have sound. I mean, it does, but it doesn't have an engine sound, so it feels a bit odd still, but it drives like a BMW should. It's fast, it's exciting, it's sharp around corners, and considering its size and weight. And as far as the sound is concerned, well, you've got these modes. Depending on modes, of course, the driving experience changes, the throttle response, the steering, all of it. That happens whether you're in comfort, efficient, sports, but the sound also changes. And you get, some of the modes have really weird sound. They're supposed to be soothing, but I found them to be more like coming off a horror movie. So they sound a bit creepy, but then again, it could be different for different people. But in sport mode, what you get is, again, this artificial sound which is being pumped through the speakers, and this is how it sounds. I'll just take the turn, and let's see. I hope you can listen to it. Yeah. Now that's all artificial. On the outside, no one's gonna hear the sound. This is just to make you feel good. Yeah, I mean, it's gimmick, but yeah, it's fun. I mean, at times, I wouldn't have this on all the time. If I'm buying an electric vehicle, I would want it to be silent. What's the point of having an electric vehicle that makes sound? That doesn't get me. But yeah, beyond that, the performance, the acceleration is just mind-boggling. I mean, for a car that's so heavy, it shoots off the line in such a quick manner. And even when you're at high triple-digit speeds, it doesn't run out of steam. Even when you're accelerating from, say, 130, 140 kilometers per hour on the highway, well, it would accelerate cleanly. But make sure you do not do those speeds on highways, and follow the speed limits. But yes, it's got ample juice in it. And like I said, it drives brilliantly, and it's got loads of features. It's just that the steering wheel I can't get over with. The design just doesn't feel natural. You get used to it. It doesn't create any problems in terms of ergonomics, but yes, it's just keeps sticking out as an odd element inside the cabin. Now, while I've been talking a lot about the power, the performance, you would be thinking, well, yeah, it's got a big battery, but probably it's also draining out very soon because it's a damn heavy car. But thankfully, it's got a good range. Now, the WLTP claimed range is about 626-30 kilometers, but realistically, based on what I've been driving during our test, I think you should easily get about 500 kilometers if you're gentle with the throttle. You're not using the sports mode all the time. Maybe you'll get a bit over 500 on a single charge, and with that kind of range, I think there should not be any question of range anxiety at all. 500 kilometers means I can easily go from Delhi, I can go to Jaipur, Chandigarh or nearby cities and just do a small top up on the way while having a quick bite, and it should be more than enough. So yeah, I mean, it's got that. It's also got fast charging options. You can get the wall box. You can also charge it with up to a 200 kilowatt charger, wherein it will charge, say, from 10% to 80% in about just 30 minutes. So it's got all of that. So charging should not be a concern. But beyond that, who should buy the iX50? Well, if the iX40 is not enough for you in terms of power, that already is quite powerful, but if that doesn't cut it out for you, so if you want an electric vehicle that offers you snob value, gives you great comfort, luxury, feels very rich, at the same time gives you the performance of a sports car, well, the iX50 I think is a great option. The prices haven't been revealed yet because the car is yet to be launched, but expect it to be considerably more expensive than the iX40. I expect this to be priced at about 1.5 crore rupees plus. But for that price, I can't think of any other electric SUV that is so hilariously fun and exciting to drive. And last time I checked, that's exactly what BMW should be, right? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have the internal combustion sound, but beyond that, it is fun to drive.